Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining in with Sing with Sharon. So, this is our third day, and I thought that we'd have a bit of a theme about food today. So, obviously, in this kind of isolation period and the lockdown, food becomes quite important and can be on people's minds. So sometimes people kind of lose their appetites, or sometimes people just want to eat lots of comfort food. I've been trying my best to eat lots of healthy fruit and vegetables, but there has been the odd little bit of chocolate in there somewhere as well. But yes, so just thinking about food and trying to theme all my warm ups and songs around that theme. So, our first thing is for our kind of physical warm up. In fact, first of all, just give a little shake of the shoulders and roll the shoulders around. Have a stretch up and a yawn. Okay, so that we're ready to go. So, our first little exercise is basically a chant and body percussion. All right. So the first section of the chant goes fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. Okay, easy enough. So you got fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. So let's try and say it together first. Ready? And fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. One more time. Fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. Good. So the body percussion. You're going to slap your thighs on fish, clap your hands on the and. Oh, in fact, sorry, did that wrong. Fish and chips. Forgot the click. So you're going to slap your thighs, click your fingers, clap. Fish and chips. Oh, I've got all confused this morning. All right, so I will do it the right way now. Fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. There you go. That's the right way around. All right, I will start again. So you're going to tap your thumbs. You clap your hands. I was right first time, you see. Click your fingers. Okay? So you slap your thighs, clap your hands, click your fingers. And again, slap your thighs, clap your hands, fish your hands. That's it. So that's fish and chips, The mushy peas starts the same way. Mushy peas with. So you do a clap again on the with. Okay, so I'll do that again. Mushy peas with, and then you guessed it, fish and chips. All right. So I'm going to do that several times round. You can watch the first time if you want to, or if you think you've got it, just join straight in. I'll do it. Let's do it 3 times so we can really get that. Ready? And fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. And again, fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. Obviously, you can add your own style to as you're doing it. So that's the first part. Second part is all about drinks. I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. Bring some, please. Okay. So we've got twice round. I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. Do you want to try that? I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. Then you've got I like tea. I like tea. So that's quite fast. Ready? And I like tea. I like tea. And then just so we can be polite, bring some, please. Bring some, please. Okay, so that whole thing just spoken is I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. So here's the body percussion. So you do a stamp first. So you go stamp. I like cappuccino. Okay, let's try that. Ready? And I like cappuccino. And then you do it on the other side. I like cappuccino. Okay, so let's try those 2. Just decide which side you're going to do. I'm going to go this side. Ready? And I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. Then for I like tea, it's similar. I like tea. It's just faster, okay? So you've got to move on to the second one faster. So it's got I like tea, I like tea. Ready? And I like tea, I like tea. Do you think you've got it? Let me do from cappuccino from the beginning. So you've got, ready? And I like cappuccino, I like cappuccino. I like tea, I like tea. And then the same move as fish and chips. You've got bring some, please. So that should be easy now. Ready? Bring some, please. So let's try that part all together. Let's do it 3 times as well. Ready with I like cappuccino. Ready? And I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. And again, I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. One more time. I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. Very good. We have one more. Beans on toast. A bit of a favorite. Okay, that's one of those meals. Beans on toast. If you're just coming in and you haven't got time, or you just fancy something quick and easy, that's the kind of go-to meal, isn't it? Maybe with a bit of cheese on top for me, I think. So we've got, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. I know some of you will also be, fish fingers will be a favorite as well. So we have, I'll speak it first. We got beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. That's the first half. Ready? You try it. Ready? And beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Then you've got beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum, yum. Okay, let's try that second one. Ready? And beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum, yum. Cool. So that whole thing, spoken first of all, just goes beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum, yum. Now, movement-wise, on the beans, you're going to clap your hand. And then on toast, you're going to slap one hand and then the other hand. So beans on toast. And you do that 3 times. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. Yeah? Should we try that again? Ready? A bit faster? Ready? And beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. Ooh, is that a bit fast? Ready again? Ready? And beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. That's it. So keep practicing that one. That's the trickiest one. So the fish fingers is just clapping. Fish fingers. Okay? So you've got beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Then beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. The yum yum we're going to clap and click. Yum yum. Yum yum. So a bit like our fish and chips move. So let me do all of that again. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum yum. Great. So we've got all 3. We've got fish and chips, then we've got cappuccino, then we've got beans on toast. So let me show you all 3 in a row. So we've got, starting with the tap, clap, and click. So we've got, I've forgotten, fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. I'll do it again. Fish and chips, mushy peas with fish and chips. Then we've got cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. And again, I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. And then you've got beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum, yum. One more time. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, fish fingers. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast, yum, yum. Okay. So we're going to try that one more time for luck. And with this one, I would suggest, well, one thing you can do is all of those rhythms. So the fish and chips section, the cappuccino section, and the beans on toast, they can all fit over the top of each other. So if you have more than one person, so if it's only you up, grab another person. If there's somebody else in the house, you can drag them in as well. So get them up off the sofa into the room where you are, and they can do this as well. And so one person could be doing, for example, the fish and chips and stick on the fish and chips routine, while someone else is doing the cappuccino or the beans on toast. All right. So I'm presuming most of you have had your lunch by now, and I'm not making you super hungry talking about all this food. But if you haven't had your lunch yet, then that's, I hope you're looking forward. Maybe you can have some beans on toast after this. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with fish and chips. 1 time the fish and chips, then the cappuccino, and then the beans on toast to finish. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Ready? And fish and chips. Fish and chips. Mushy peas with fish and chips. Cappuccino, I like cappuccino. I like cappuccino. I like tea. I like tea. Bring some, please. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. Fish fingers. Beans on toast, beans on toast, beans on toast. Yum, yum. Were you successful? I hope you managed to do some of those together. Great. So I can leave you to practice those, and we'll come back to them another day, and you'll be absolutely spectacular at them with a bit of practice. Yes, and if you're thirsting after a cappuccino, like Mr. Hall is, maybe one of your family will go and get one for you. All right, so the next thing is just thinking about our breathing. So remember when we're singing, some of the good things about singing is that it helps remind us about posture, good posture. So standing up nice and tall, feet hip distance apart, so your feet and your knees and your hips all lined up, and you're trying to get a long spine, a long neck with your shoulders relaxed, your open chest, so that you've got lots of room to breathe. And remembering these tummy muscles, these core muscles are what you're using to support your singing and support your breath. So we're going to imagine we've got some bubblegum. Okay, so put it in. You're just going to chew. Okay, I'll try not to be too squelchy and disgusting. But can you just do a little yummy noise at the same time? We're going to imagine it's really delicious bubblegum. Depending what your favorite flavor would be. Remember, you can put in the comments and respond as we're going. So if you have a favorite flavor that you're imagining, think kind of Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. That chewing gum, that bubble gum could be any kind of flavor, roast dinner, etc. So what would your favorite flavor of bubble gum be? Okay, so keep chewing that bubble gum because we need to get it nice and stretchy. Right, so here comes the breathing. What we're going to do is we're just going to blow it up in one long breath like this. And then when you run out, it's going to go pop. Okay? You can peel it off your face, pop it back in. Have another chew. So really get the jaw working. Now this time, when we blow, we're going to blow in 4 lots. So you're not going to breathe in between, but you're just going to go but slower. Ready? With me? Okay, this time we are going to try and do that 8 times. So got to make sure you take lots of breath in, keep your shoulders relaxed. Here we go. Okay, and then you're going to have to put your bubblegum somewhere. It's up to you. You can take it out, put it in the bin, or stick it behind your ear for later. I don't recommend swallowing it. Cool. So next we're going to do a little bit more of singing a song to help our teeth and our lips and our articulation. So this is one called I Like to Eat Apples and Bananas. So the song is pretty simple. It just goes, I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. Okay, so very simple melody. You can, in the gaps, you can do clicking as well if you want. So we've got, I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. So watch that again. I want you to figure out which clicks, how many clicks we do, okay, and what combination. So watch again. I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. So were they all the same? If your answer is no, you were right. So there's two, and then just one before the apples and bananas. So you got, I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat one, apples and bananas. And then you have one, I like to eat, 1, 2, I like to eat, 1, 2, I like to eat one, apples and bananas. So if you want to challenge yourself, have those clicks as well, or claps. All right, so let's sing it again, a couple of times through, and then I'll explain what the next part of the game is. 3, 4, 1, I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat, I like to eat, I like to eat apples and bananas. Got it? Right. So now what we do with it, the reason I use it as a kind of warming up exercise, is that you can now change all the vowel sounds. If you're interested in this, using this game later, I have done a separate video which should be in the playlists for you on my channel. So yes, so I've just done that and explained through, but this time we'll go through using the vowel, using an oo sound. Ooh, can you all go ooh? Very good. Bit more kind of gossipy. Ooh. Cool. So we've got, instead of I like to eat, you're going to use that oo sound. So you've got oo look to oot. Can you say that for me? Oo look to oot. Oopools und boonoonoos. So hopefully this makes you laugh a little while you're doing it as well. If you've got someone with you, once you know what you're doing, try and make faces at each other. So you try and pull the most extreme faces you can. So I'm going oolook to oot. Okay? So here we go. 3, 4, 1. Oolook to oot. Oolook to oot. Oolook to oot. Ooples and boonoonoos. Oolook to oot. Oolook to oot. Oolook to oot. Ooples and boonoonoos. Cool. So if you want to, you can be typing in different vowel sounds into the comments so I can pick those up, but I'm going to suggest another one. Let's do ah. So I want to see nice open mouth. Ah. Try that. Ah. So I always feel slightly posh when I'm doing the ah. So you can be really pulled up, quite regal. Okay. So it would sound like this. Alak, ta'at, apples, and bananas. Okay, bananas. So let's try singing it. Ready? 3, 4, 1. I like ta'at, I like ta'at, I like ta'at, apples and bananas. I like ta'at, I like ta'at, I like ta'at, apples and bananas. Excellent. All right, we're going to move up a little bit. And so let's do E. Okay, so I want to see a big smile. If you really go for this, your cheek muscles will ache a little bit at the end. So it's good as a non-surgical facial. All right, some face exercises. So nice smile, go E-leek, T-eat, E-peels, and beanies. Okay, and I quite like the sound of beanies, whatever they might be. So let's try singing that along. E-leek to eat, E-peels, and beanies. 3, 4, 1. E-leek to eat, E-leek to eat, E-leek to eat, E-peels, and beanies. E-leek to eat, E-leek to eat, So if you were really going for that, you can give your face a little massage. And particularly what can be good is if you give your lips a blow. And then wide. Give a yawn. Because if you're really going for that, your cheek muscles might ache a little bit. All right, so now we come to the song that I was going to teach you. I've known this song for a long time, but actually I didn't know for a while who had written it, which is often the way. So I believe it was written by Jan Holdstock, and she writes lots of songs, particularly for children's groups and things like that. And it's called Breakfast Calypso. Breakfast Calypso, and it is in 3 parts. And as usual in the community music world, there's lots of slightly different versions of the tune and slightly different versions of the words. So you may know a slightly different version, but this is the version that I know. So I'll sing it all for you first. So it goes. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. That's how I start my day. Just a cup of tea, that's enough for me, that's enough for me. With milk and sugar, just a cup of tea, that's enough for me, that's enough for me. I want eggs and bacon and a slice of good fried bread. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. And obviously, if you're vegetarian, you can change some of these lyrics later to have a vegetarian option. But we'll start from the beginning. Toast and marmalade for breakfast. So I don't know if you have toast and marmalade for breakfast. I certainly, during the lockdown, have started having toast and marmalade. And very delicious it is too. So we've got, when it's time for breakfast. Try that. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. Your turn. I like toast and marmalade. So I quite often will do actions. So if you like doing actions, or if you like doing some moves, here's my moves, and you can make your own. So I start doing, when it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. So when it's time, and toast and marmalade. So feel free to join in the actions if you want. So let's try that again. Ready? And when it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. That's how I start my day. So I'll do that last bit. So you've got, that's how I start my day. Now, some of you might know Makaton or signing. So you could make up some signs or some Makaton signs to this, which would be great. And if you do, please do feel free to do a video and send it to me. That would be amazing to have that up, and for me to learn some of those signs as well. So these signs are just are not Makaton or BSL. They're just actions that I'm making up. Okay, so they've got, that's how I start my day. So let's try from the beginning. When it's time for breakfast. Ready? And when it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. That's how I start my day. Cool. So that's number 1. Number 2. You have to be, I reckon there's different characteristics for each of these parts. So the toast and marmalade, I think you're just aiming for kind of nice and bright and cheery and happy. This one, I feel like we need to be a little posher. Okay. So you've got your cup of tea and you've got your pinky out and you're doing just a cup of tea. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. With milk and sugar, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. So be super tall, super proud, slightly royal if you like. Okay. So a little pinky out. So you're going just a cup of tea. Try that. Just a cup of tea. Then you go, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Let's try that. That's enough for me. that's enough for me. And then very quickly, this bit's fast, with milk and sugar. Try that again. With milk and sugar. And you're straight away back to that, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. So let's try that through. Just a cup of tea, ready? And just a cup of tea. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. With milk and sugar, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Excellent. Okay, so that was the posh one. The last one is a bit demanding. Okay, I'm sure you're never like that. Okay, I'm sure you're never like that. Mr. Hall is in there giving the comments. So Mr. Hall has Scottish oats with sugar and milk for his breakfast. So please do write in the comments if you want to compete with Mr. Hall's Scottish oats and sugar and milk for your breakfast. Let me know what you have. But we'll go. I want your fists out. I want you looking grumpy. Okay, this is the only time you're allowed to be grumpy. And you're a bit demanding. You went, I want eggs and bacon. So ready? Do you want to try that? Ready? And I want eggs and bacon. Great. And a slice of good fried bread. Try that. And a slice of good fried bread. Then you have, if you have no bacon. Let's try that. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. Then a sausage will do instead. Okay, so let me do all of that section. I want eggs and bacon and a slice of good fried bread. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. Okay. Ready? And I want eggs and bacon and a slice of good fried bread. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. All right, so let's try that. We'll try from the beginning. So we've got when it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. We'll do that twice, and then the cup of tea twice, and then the I want eggs and bacon twice. And try and change your expression each time. So when it's time for breakfast, try and just have a nice, happy, smiley attitude. Cup of tea, posh, really upright, quite clipped. And then for the final one, really grumpy, demanding. Okay, when it's time for breakfast. Ready? And when it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. That's how I start my day. And again. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade, toast and marmalade. When it's time for breakfast, I like toast and marmalade. That's how I start my day. Just a cup of tea, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me, that's enough for me. With milk and sugar, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me, that's enough for me. Let's do it again, pinkies out. Just a cup of tea. That's enough for me, that's enough for me. With milk and sugar, just a cup of tea. That's enough for me, that's enough for me. Then demanding, I want eggs and bacon and a slice of good fried bread. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. And again, I want eggs and bacon and a slice of good fried bread. If you have no bacon, then a sausage will do instead. Cool. All right, so you need to leave all that grumpiness behind before we finish and go back to the toast and marmalade, feeling happy, feeling joyful. So I hope you've enjoyed singing about food. There are many other songs. I'm sure you could put them in the comments if you want. If you've got another favorite song about food, just stick it in the comments. And very kind if you subscribe to the channel and click the bell if you want to be notified about new content. So we're trying to put up new songs or games every day, including when we're out on our daily exercise walking the dogs. Try and put a little round up on the site. And so yeah, I was just thinking about food before we say goodbye. So you might, for example, one of the things that people are doing are learning new skills. So you might find someone in your household or look online about how to cook. You might have look up a recipe and try a new recipe, or just learning how to cook in general. You might make something yourself and then take a picture and post the picture up, something delicious that you've made. You could do drawings of food, or you could just make someone a nice cup of tea or cappuccino. So I wish you joy for the rest of the day, and hope to see you again tomorrow, 1:30. Please do join us again for Sing with Sharon, and keep singing. Bye.